Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into the Offensive Security Certified Professional Certification, the OSCP.
Yep, the OSCP. It's definitely a big one in cybersecurity circles.
It really carries some serious weight, doesn't it? Sort of signals you've actually got the practical hands-on skills.
Exactly. It's not just book smarts. It's about proving you can, actually do the work, find vulnerabilities, exploit them. That practical side is why it's so respected.
Right. So our mission today really is to give you a clearer picture, like a step-by-step way to think about tackling the OSCP.
Yeah, because it can seem pretty daunting.
Totally. Whether you're just curious or maybe you've started and feel a bit stuck, we want to
Bring it down.
simplify it, offer a practical path forward.
And we're basing this on some great material aimed at helping people break into the field or level up, specifically focusing on navigating this OSCP journey. So let's get started.
Let's do it. Okay, step one, and this seems absolutely crucial based on what we've seen. You've got to build a solid foundation, the basics.
Can't skip the basics.
Huh?
It's like trying to run before you can walk, right?
Exactly. Or like the source material kind of hinted, understanding how a car works before you hypothetically borrow one in a game.
Yeah.
You need that core understanding first.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You need to know what you're looking at before you try to break it.
So what are those core areas? The material highlights a few key things. First off, Linux basics,
Oh yeah, Linux is huge.
getting comfortable with the file system, knowing your way around the terminal, that command line interface, and understanding permissions, who can do what.
You live in the terminal, pretty much. So yeah, Linux fluency is non-negotiable. It's where most of the tools run.
Okay, next, networking.
Big one.
Yeah, understanding things like IP addresses,
The address for everything
ports, like the doorways on a computer.
Yep.
DNS, how website names turn into IPs, and then the main ways data travels, TCP and UDP.
It's the plumbing of the internet, basically. You need to know how systems talk to each other to find the weak spots in that conversation.
Then scripting comes up. Python or Bash are mentioned specifically.
Super useful. Automating tasks, writing small tools. It just makes you way more efficient.
Saves a lot of manual clicking, I bet.
Definitely. Even basic scripts can be a huge time saver.
And finally, Windows basics. Can't forget Windows.
Nope. You might use Linux tools, but chances are you're targeting Windows systems a lot of the time.
So knowing about Windows services, how to use PowerShell, its command line, and user accounts, that's important too.
Absolutely. Got to understand the target environment. So Linux for your tools, Windows for the target often, networking for how they connect, scripting to speed things up. That's a good foundation.
So for someone totally new, feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed by all that, where do they start? The resource points to places like TryHackMe.
TryHackMe. Yeah, it's great for beginners.
It mentions their pre-security and junior penetration tester paths specifically, calls them interactive and good for starting out.
They really are. They gamify it a bit, break things down into manageable chunks, makes learning those fundamentals less dry. Good launch pad.
Okay, cool. So you've got some basics starting to click. What's next? The material says practice. Get into labs.
Yep, time to get hands-on. Theory's good, but pen testing is all about doing.
This is where you actually start applying what you've learned.
Exactly. Solidify that knowledge in practical scenarios.
And we got some recommendations for labs too. Try Hack Me again, but this time they're red team and offensive pen testing rooms.
Right, stepping up the difficulty a bit. TryHackMe has tons of room, so you can progress gradually.
Also, Hack the Box, as mentioned, suggests starting with starting point and moving to easy machines.
Hack the Box can be a bit more challenging, yeah. The starting point boxes are good for bridging that gap. Then the easy ones build on that.
And Over the Wire, specifically the Bandit series.
Oh, Bandit. Classic. It's fantastic for really nailing down those Linux command line skills in a security context. Very focused.
Now, here's something the source really stressed, and it sounds important. It's not just about solving the lab, like getting root access.
No, definitely not. That's just the end goal.
It's about understanding how you got there.
Precisely. Don't just grab a walkthrough and type commands. You need to analyze why that exploit worked. What was the vulnerability?
Understand the tools you used.
Yeah, what did that specific command do? And think about what you missed the first time. Why didn't your initial idea work?
So treat each lab like a puzzle to take apart afterwards.
Exactly. Reverse engineer your own success. That's how you internalize the techniques, not just copy them.
Makes sense. Okay, so foundation built, lab practice is happening. What's the next big milestone on this OSCP path?
Time to make it official, according to the source. Enroll in PWK penetration testing with Kali Linux.
Ah, the official course from Offensive Security, the people behind OSCP.
That's the one. PWK is the formal prep course specifically designed for the OSCP exam.
And what comes with that enrollment? The material listed a few things. Over 70 lab machines.
Yeah, a whole bunch of labs designed to mimic real-world networks and challenges. They're the heart of the PWK course, really. Lots of practice ground.
Plus that big course guide over 850 pages. Wow.
It's hefty, a very comprehensive guide covering tons of theory and techniques, good reference material alongside the hands-on stuff.
And critically, one OSCP exam attempt is included.
Yep, your shot at the title is bundled in, that 24-hour practical exam we mentioned.
And access to the offset community forums, too.
Which is super valuable, connecting with other students, asking questions, sharing tips. It's a great support system, people who are in it with you or have been through it.
The source really hammered home that the OSCP and PWK are very practical, not just reading and memorizing.
Absolutely. It's all about doing. It embodies that try harder mindset they talk about. You have to be persistent, figure things out.
And it also offered a bit of reassurance, didn't it, for people maybe looking at that huge course guide and all those labs.
Right. So you don't necessarily have to complete every single lab machine or read every single page cover to cover to pass the exam.
It's more about developing the right skills and methodology.
Exactly. Progress, persistence, learning how to tackle problems effectively. That's the focus, more than just checking off boxes.
Okay, so you're enrolled in PWK. Now what? Step 4, according to our resource, build a study plan and take really good notes.
Yeah, this is where discipline and organization really pay off. You need a plan, and you absolutely need good notes.
The source gave a simple plan example. Maybe an hour in the labs on weekdays. Saturday for theory review and organizing notes, Sunday for rest or catch up.
Sounds reasonable. The key point seemed to be consistency, even if it's just a little bit each day or week.
Right. Keep chipping away at it. Short, regular sessions are often better than cramming.
Definitely helps with retention and skill building over time.
And then the notes, described as a secret weapon. Sounds pretty important.
Oh, massively important. You learn so many commands, tools, techniques. You just can't remember it all without a system.
You need to write it down.
Absolutely. Your notes become your external brain during the exam and especially for the report.
Got some tool suggestions too. Cherry Tree for structured notes.
Yeah, good option.
Obsidian if you like Markdown.
Also popular.
Or even just Google Docs if you want something simple.
The tool is the main thing, though. It's the habit of taking detailed, organized notes. Whatever system works for you, use it consistently.
And what should go in the notes? Commands, obviously.
Yep, useful commands.
Yeah.
Recon steps, how you gather info.
Privilege escalation methods, how you get more access.
Exactly. Anything you might need to look up quickly during the exam or refer to when writing the report, it becomes your personal cheat sheet, your reference guide.
So document the command, maybe why you used it, what happened, even if it failed.
Yes, especially if it failed initially. Document your thought process, the results, the errors. That context is invaluable later. It's a log of your journey.
Got it. Okay, Foundation Labs, PWK enrollment, study plan, awesome notes. Brings us to the final step in the source material. Step 5, taking the exam and crushing the report.
The grand finale. All that prep leads here.
Yeah.
It's a tough test, no doubt.
So the format, again, 24 hours, right? To hack into 5 machines.
Correct. 24 hours for the practical hacking part.
And you need 70 points out of 100 to pass.
Minimum 70 points. Then, after the hacking time is up, you get another 24 hours just for writing and submitting the report.
Okay. 2 full days, essentially. 1 for hacking, 1 for writing.
It's an endurance test as much as a skills test. Time management is key in that first 24 hours.
Sounds intense, but the source says it's doable with good prep. And it gave some exam tips. Start with enumeration.
Always start by thoroughly scanning and investigating your targets. You can't exploit what you don't know about. Good recon is everything.
And take your time. Don't rush.
Yep. Methodical is better than frantic.
Prioritize the higher point machines, maybe.
Generally a good strategy, yeah.
Yeah.
Focus initial efforts where you can get the biggest point gains.
And the critical one again. Document everything as you go.
Absolutely vital. Every command, every attempt, every result, success or failure. Log it all. You'll need it for the report, and it helps you track what you've tried during the exam itself.
Right. You might circle back to something later.
Exactly. What failed before might work once you find another piece of the puzzle.
Then the report itself. Equally important, it sounds like.
Just as critical. Passing the hacking part, but submitting a poor report means you fail.
So what needs to be in it? Clear, step-by-step walkthroughs for each machine.
Yep, how you got in, step by step.
Screenshots as proof.
Essential visual evidence.
The proof files you grab from the
The
machines.
flags, yeah.
And clean formatting. Use the OffSec template they provide.
Using their template is highly recommended. Makes it professional and ensures you include everything they expect.
The advice is basically, treat it like a real Penist report for a client.
Exactly. Clear, detailed, professional. It shows you can not only do the technical work, but also communicate your findings effectively. That's a core skill.
A well-written report validates the hacking part.
Perfectly put. It ties everything together.
Okay, so let's wrap up this deep dive. We've walked through the 5 key steps from our source for tackling the OSCP. 1, learn the basics, Linux, networking, scripting, Windows.
Get that foundation solid.
2, practice in labs, try HackMe, hack the box, over the wire, get hands-on.
Apply the knowledge. Understand the how.
3, enroll in PWK, the official course in labs.
Make it official. Use their resources.
4, build a study plan and take meticulous notes. Your secret weapon.
Stay organized. Document everything. Consistency.
And 5, tackle the exam, documenting as you go, and then write a killer report.
The final test and the professional write-up.
That's the roadmap. It's definitely challenging. The material makes that clear.
Oh yeah, it's meant to be hard, but very rewarding. Requires persistence.
And that difficulty is part of its value, right? It really proves you can do the job, as the source put it. Validates those practical skills.
It really does. It tells employers and yourself that you have serious hands-on abilities, critical thinking, problem-solving skills under pressure.
So, the final thought for you listening, maybe building on this, achieving the OSCP isn't just about the certificate itself, it's a statement. It says you have proven practical penetration testing skills. So think about what that validation could mean for you, for your career, for the kind of impact you want to have in cybersecurity.
Yeah, what doors could that open? What does having that proven capability signal? Definitely something to consider as you think about your own path. It's a big step, but a powerful one.